So, as promised, I'm going to give you a quick video tour of our shop. Right off the bat, we walk into our CNC mill line, and we have one, two, three-axis mills, and one fifth-axis mill. The fifth-axis mill not only moves the tooling forward and backwards, side to side and up and down, but that trunnion table in the middle tilts up to 100 degrees and rotates 360 degrees in a circle. So that gives the tooling that goes in the spindle there full access to every different side of the part. This machine will do what we call 2+3 milling, where the table pre-positions on 2 axes and then the mill comes into mill on 3 axes, or it'll do full 5th axis machining, where all axes are moving around together all at once. Moving on the back wall here, we have a whole bank of manual mills. So manual mills use the same kind of tooling that CNC mills use, but all the movements are controlled manually with turning cranks and lifting the table up, moving the table side to side, forward and backwards. The tooling goes in the spindle there. Spindle can also be moved, up and down. Manual machining is not done a lot in industry anymore, but the people who do still do it are really some of the best. Over here, we've got some lathe work happening on our CNC lathes. Students are making hammer faces. All right, so just to give you kind of an idea of what the process looks like. When I hit cycle start, tooling's going to go home, program will reset. I hit cycle start again, and we're actually going to shut the coolant off or we lose visual. We're cutting nylon right now, so the part's spinning very fast. Tool is working through the part. It's cutting a profile on the OD of the part. And because optional stop is on, I can open the door, I can remove the chips, and I can see the profile that we've cut on the part. Next tool comes in, cuts a thread relief behind the part, and then we're going to thread it. It's called single point threading. As the part spins, the cutter goes through, cuts a thread on the part. As you can see right there, now we have threads on our piece of nylon. And now we're going to just completely cut the part off of the stock. Didn't quite fall off, but it'll be pretty close. Alright, so now we have in our hands a finished part. Continuing on our tour, come to the back. We've got a bunch of manual lathes back here to teach people how to do the lathe work in a more controlled environment. Again, all the tooling is moved around using, these crank handles, able to move tooling back and forth, side to side, and in at an angle. Over here, we've got a heat treat cell with a double stack oven for hardening and tempering, or even annealing material. This is our surface grinder. This is the most accurate machine in the shop. The graduations of movement for this machine are 1/4 of a thousandth of an inch. We can do both flat grinding or surface grinding and cylindrical grinding on this machine. In here is our metrology lab. Metrology is just a fancy word for saying measurement. We have optical comparators, coordinate measuring machines. We have a granite surface plate on every workbench. These plates are flat within 1/1,000,000th of an inch. CMMs are sort of like an automated way to measure stuff. We can take this probe and we can bring it down and touch off the surfaces of parts, and we can measure the size of this hole, the depth of the hole, the position relative to datum surfaces on the part. And we can do that for every feature on the part, and we can map this part out in the computer, and then we can check subsequent parts to make sure that they all conform to specifications. It's a temperature-controlled room because we want to measure everything at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. And in this room, we not only talk about measurement, but we talk about print reading, GD&T, and everything else that goes along with quality control in a manufacturing environment. We also have a couple of 3D printers. This is our big industrial machine. This will print things with carbon fiber inlaid into them, or nylon inlaid. We also have a resin printer right here that does more intricate, more detailed work. We have a couple of printers over here that will do plastic, ABS, and PLA. And then we have a post-processing area over there for cleaning off support material from the 3D prints. So that's our shop. We hit it at lunch break, so it wasn't too busy. You can see people are starting to feed back in, get back to work. I hope you enjoyed the tour.